Hey y'all, Farmer Dre back at it. Today we are starting more tomato seeds. You know, starting off with tomatoes, you know, it's just a simple process. Just make a hole in the ground, put the seed in and watch it grow. So that's all we're gonna do today. Nah, I'm just messing around. There's a big controversy going on between some dude and he was dissing on agriculture and farming. And you know, they think it's super easy, but in all reality, I want to see people like that, you know, try farming and try doing what we're doing. But anyways, today we are planting some more tomato seeds. These are extra tomato plants we have. We transplanted in the first tie tunnel on Friday, and now we're gonna go ahead and start another batch for the other high tunnel. So Isaac's here with me today, and he already filled up these trays. These are just a 50 count solid tray, cell tray here, full of the potty mix, and we're gonna go ahead and plant 50 Carolina Golds and then 300 Red Deuce. So we go ahead and put them in the other high tunnel. So now we're gonna go ahead and water them and start dropping a seed in every single tray. So one thing I found that works pretty good is make sure the trays are soaking wet, because if you try wetting them after you put the seed in there, then you have the chance of the seed being exposed and not germinating. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for a couple of minutes here, making sure they are getting soaked down deep inside. Just like that, not too much water, not too much pressure. It's not too difficult, not this part. So I want to show you guys a secret here. This potting mix has been sitting in the greenhouse for about 6 months now. One thing that I learned, if you water the top, then the bottom is still not soaked. So you guys can see there, the bottom of the cell in the bottom where the potting mix is still dry. So I like to go through and water them, you know, 2 or 3 times to let that water penetrate all the way down into the bottoms. You know, the first time I planted tomatoes, I only soaked a little bit and just the first 1/4 inch was wet. And then after a while, the tomato plants started drying out. Once they germinated, they started drying out. I was like, what was going on? So the soil on the bottom never got any moisture to it. So now I go through and make sure they're nice and watered. I mean, the whole entire thing would be super saturated. And then I go ahead and plant the tomato seeds. Alrighty, so if you guys are wondering how these tomato plants are doing, well, I mean, they're doing pretty good. I mean, I don't think any of them died, so that's good. Good transplanting rate, but so far so good. I mean, they've grown and they're now starting to set their first flowers. I got to come through probably by the end of this week and put the start staking them, putting the post in here to keep them from going. But as you guys can see here, we already got some nice open blooms on the tomatoes here, and slowly and surely they're going to keep growing and growing and growing. And I could already tell, you know, the leaf size has already gotten bigger just in 2 days. So you give them plenty of energy and everything they need, and then they just grow very nicely. Alrighty, so what we're doing here is we're just making a small hole inside each cell. So Isaac just got a screw there and put about a 1/2 inch hole, not too deep. Just like that, go through in every one, and then come back with the seed and just put the seed nicely in there and just cover back up. So alrighty, so a few days have passed, and today we're out here in the apple orchard that we pushed down, and I got the chainsaws, and what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and chopping up every single branch and the main trunk from the tree. And the reason we're doing that is that we're going to go ahead and keep this wood back in the corner of the property. So for our applewood pens and different apple products that we are making here on the farm and selling, so we can have plenty of stock of the applewood. And then we're going to go ahead and clear this all off, measure it out, and hopefully in another month or so we're gonna go ahead and start planting all the trees that we got in. So today, chainsaws and start cutting the apple trees. really windy out here, but I've been cutting the apple trees all day long, and now I gotta go with Adrian and cut firewood for tonight for the tomato high tunnel. So I'm gonna get the wood splitter, get the chainsaws. Adrian's gonna grab the skid steer here real quick and meet me down there. Alrighty, y'all, so we just got all of the wood cut. 2 bins to do for tonight, and then we have a little more down there. And we got plenty of forests around here, so we could have plenty of wood. Like I mentioned earlier, the guy that we used that has a wood mill, he's not cutting as much since it's the winter. I'm gonna go inside the high tunnel here because the wind's blowing. So whenever we can't get any more wood in, we just cut our own, just a few logs, not too much, but we like to use his. They're a lot drier and it's a lot cheaper than the ones that we do cut. But so far, the tomatoes, as you guys can tell here, are looking good. I gotta come through and start staking them, but that's another job for another day. But March is here, and now that March is here, it is time for us to get some serious stuff done. We're trying. We gotta clear up the block 1 there for the trees, and then we got the blueberries coming in, and we just got a bunch of work to do. I got to start working on the strawberries again, get them covered, start fertilizing them. But you know, I've been waking up every 2 to 3 times a night now with the wood stove, and you know, waking up at 2 and 4, and then having to be in class at 8. You know, it gets pretty tiring after a while, but it is what it is. So waking up is just part of the duties we have to do of trying to get early tomatoes. And like I mentioned, we're trying to get our first good harvest the first week of May and throughout May. So that we have to wake up, and that's the duties and our diligence of planting early tomatoes. And you know, we try to keep it above 42 degrees, and the average try to be about 50 degrees. Lately we've been doing that, but it's just, we're just out here waking up trying to get it done. Alrighty, so like I keep mentioning, I'm gonna make a complete video on how our wood stove works and how the heating system works for the soil and everything. But this is gonna be pretty much it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, go to smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit that notification icon so you guys can be notified whenever I do upload a video. I wanna say thanks for watching up to this point. You guys have a good day, and we will see you next time.